Hey, so this video should have been done a long time ago, but better late than never, am I right? Well, I know that most of you know what happened to me back in June, but you only know what my mom shared. You only know things from her perspective and how she saw the situation, but none of you guys know where my mind was at, or where I was, or what I was thinking, how I was feeling. So that's why I'm making this video, because I want you guys to hear the story from my perspective. It probably won't be much different from what my mom said, but I figured it was important to share it. But a lot of people know my story through my mom, and people have been wanting to, usually people get hope when they see the person that's being talked about kind of show their face and give the testimony for themselves. So that's why I'm here. I wrote it down because it's just a lot. So if I keep looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my laptop. So let's get started. This all started back on June 5th. I had been feeling really sick and just terrible leading up to the days that I went into the hospital, which was on Wednesday, that June 5th. And I never got sick before. Like, once I was diagnosed with the autoimmune, I just never got sick, ever. Even when my mom was sick and other people around me were sick and had the flu, I was totally fine. So that should have been a major red flag. So on Wednesday, I started to like shake uncontrollably. And then I remember the night prior to that, I couldn't really walk to the bathroom without my legs shaking. I almost like collapsed. So that was weird. I never felt that before. But then the next day, I just started shaking all over. I was just in bed, just shaking. Like, my mom would try to give me like Emergen-C to take, or like echinacea, and I would just shake and spill it all over myself. And it was a mess. I couldn't drink anything. My mom was working that day, but when she came home to check on me, my face just started to twitch uncontrollably. And I remember being not scared, but I was very like, okay, what is happening? I don't like this. I don't like this. That's usually how I am with a lot of this stuff. Like, I've been in the hospital 3 times, once a year, the past 3 years, and every time leading up to that, I wouldn't get scared. I'd just be like, okay, I don't like that this is happening. I don't want this to happen anymore. Like, stop it. Like, I get kind of panicked. And so my mom called 911 because, of course, the twitching freaked her out, and it also kind of freaked me out. So, so she called 911, but before they even got there, it stopped. So then when they came, they were just like, like, okay, can you get up? Like, I was laying down, I was sitting in the bed, and they were like, okay, can you get up? And they're like, okay, we're still going to transport you because we don't know what that was. And it's funny because I think about it now, and I'm just like, the medics, my mom and myself, we had no clue that I was at that moment running out of time. Does that make sense? So I got to the emergency room, and I waited, I think, about 10 minutes before they could even give me a room. So I was just laying there, not concerned, because I'm just like, okay, well, the twitching stopped, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So I was just like, all right, whatever. And then when they finally got me a room, I had to wait even longer for someone to even come in, give me an IV, do the vital checks and all that stuff. A good 30 minutes or so had gone by. And the last thing I remember is my mom just saying to lay back and just relax. At least that's what I thought I did. But what actually happened was much worse. So when I woke up 5 days later, I was in a hospital room in a nightgown with a tube down my throat, in my nose, and in my private area. And I was so unbelievably uncomfortable and groggy. And I knew in that moment when I woke up and I saw everything around me. I saw my mom sitting on this side. I was laying in the bed. I noticed there was a tube, something in my nose. It was a tube. And I noticed, okay, I could see by all the monitors and stuff, I'm in ICU. I'm very familiar with what ICU looks like. And I was so mad. I was so upset because I was like, oh crap, dang it, what happened to me this time? I legit thought I went in just like, okay, they're going to give me something for this severe allergy, attack that I'm having, and I'd be able to go home. But that's not what happened. And it ticked me off. I was really mad because I'm like, I don't feel like going through this again. Every single time I'm in the hospital, I'm in for like 2 weeks, and they have to rebuild my kidney again, and we have to do the whole cycle over again, and it's bothersome. It's annoying. Once I was able to, I asked my mom, I'm like, what happened? And she said something, kind of trying to like brush it away or whatever. But then I was like, what really happened? What happened? Did I have a seizure? I was expecting her to say I had a seizure. I actually started to have the face twitching again, and then I had a seizure, an actual seizure. And according to my mom, I bit my tongue so badly that blood was just pouring out of my mouth like a horror movie. I went into cardiac arrest, jolted, and then I died.
Hey there, future Naya here. I wanted to make something very clear. I had a cardiac arrest and died because I had too high potassium. Yes, I don't know why I didn't mention that, but that's very important to the story. Keep your potassium at a good level, unless you want to die. Okay, so, yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, thank you. Enjoy the video.
My mom said my death was so violent and evil that it was like the devil himself customized that death for me, killed me himself. Which I can believe because the devil's been trying to kill me my entire life. He does not like me. After she told me that, I told my mom, that must have been scary, huh? And it's funny because I even now, I still can't comprehend and process everything my mom has told me about when I was in the hospital and what happened. It's like something you see in like a movie or something. It's really like, it's crazy to me. But for the next few weeks, I was kind of like the talk, I guess, of the hospital because what happened to me was a miracle. It was a miracle. Even though I don't want to say that I don't see it as a miracle, but I'm very nonchalant about these kind of things. Because there's no doubt in my mind that God can do anything. I'm not surprised by what happened to me, but I'm also very, very aware and very grateful and understanding of, okay, this is something that a lot of people don't see. And that's important because it can be used for something bigger than yourself. It can be used for a testimony. I never had any doubt that I would get better when they told me, I have to be on dialysis for a while. I never had any doubt that, I would get better when they spoke death over me more times than I can count. Even when they told me it would take a long time for me to get rehabilitated, I never had any doubt that God would bring me through this situation. And People have been saying how strong I am and how positive I am through this whole situation. And just know that it's not me. It's really not. My flesh would have jumped out a window a long time ago because of how overwhelming this whole experience has been. You don't even know. Like, there's so much. It's not by my own strength that I have so much calm, I guess, or because I'm amazing or whatever. It's because God has given me a crazy type of faith and peace that I can only hope spreads to other people. Because no 20-year-old should have to go through this. No 9-year-old should have to go through this. No 55-year-old should have to go through this. And we all go through very terrible, terrible things. My experience is no worse than anyone else's. But it is the way I went through it that makes it different than a lot of other people's. And that's because I have someone to look to that gives me hope. That, okay, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to be off dialysis. I'm not going to need a kidney transplant. I'm going to go on the rest of my life. I'm going to live long. I'm going to live till I'm 120, like it says in the Bible. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have a child, maybe. And, you know, that's going to be my life. My life is not going to be this. It's not going to be that. And I want you to know that right now, whoever's watching this. If you're going through something that seems like, okay, this is it, it's not it. I promise you that. I promise you that. But I can't stress this enough that it takes a belief in God to get through it. It's not me, and it will not be you, because you don't have that strength, you don't have that power. He does. And I want you to grasp that, because you could be going through something right now and you're just like, I'm trying to be strong, I'm trying to get through it. And you'll maybe get through it, but you'll never be healed from it. I can get through this, but I myself, through my own power, will never get healed from it. It can only be through him. And I'm going to stick to that, and I'm going to keep relying on him, because I have no other choice, because he's the one and only. He's it. He's the end for me. He's where I stop and he's where I stay. He's where I stay. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean. So, that's it. So there's more parts to the story that I'm going to share, that I want to share. But this is just a little update sort of thing. How am I feeling today? Great. I'm hungry. But I'm feeling great. And, you know, I made it to 21. You know, my 21st birthday was a couple weeks ago. So, yeah. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for praying for me and for keeping me in your thoughts and for just keeping up with me. All right.